Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano and I'm a chef on a mission. Today's mission is nutrition. And I made a video last week about whose responsibility is it to make sure that kids eat right? Is it the parents, or whose fault is it that kids don't eat right? Is it the parents' fault? Is it society's fault? Is it companies? And it's a really combination. You have to watch that video because I feel that parents are being misled and in general, all Americans are being misled about the propaganda we get and the false education, not only false advertising, but false education, because the ADA, the American Dietetic Association, is funded by McDonald's and Coke and Hershey's and by the companies that are trying to push their crap on us, so they twist it and make it look like it's better than it actually is. And of course, you get these advice from teachers, from dietitians in hospitals, on mainstream TV and mainstream studies, and you think you're doing the right thing, and you're really not a lot of times. It's really, really frustrating. So I want to talk today, how do you get kids to actually eat right? Okay, because I've identified where the problems are with the parents and with the way we're educated. So how exactly do you? Now I'm going to tell you my experience, how I got my kids to eat right, because my kids are very, very good eaters, very good eaters. And I worked hard on that. I worked very, very, very hard. So the first thing was, when they were babies, we made, first of all, breastfeeding, mother's milk is so important. It's just, but it starts even before that. What the mother eats while the baby's pregnant has a lot to do with the foods that the baby craves. So if the mother's on a high sugary diet, that's getting to the baby, and the baby's going to be craving sugary things. So, it really starts when the mother's pregnant with how to actually eat and get the cravings. We all know that, the more we eat something, the more we crave it. You start smoking, you're going to crave cigarettes. You start drinking coffee, you're going to start drinking coffee. I have never drank coffee. I've never smoked. So it's like that how do I want to say this? It's like your body craves what you're going to give your body. So if you give your body lettuce and greens and apples and stuff like that, your body's going to say, it's going to recognize that and crave them. So now there still is hope if your kids are bad eaters. There still is hope. So I've seen a lot of parents change and transition their kids, and that takes a lot more work than doing it from the very beginning. My wife and I have done it from the very, very beginning. So she breastfed extensively. We made all of our own baby food, organic baby food. In a lot of cases, it was raw baby food. There's no reason to make cooked applesauce. You make raw applesauce. Make sure you wash the apples very carefully so there's no bacteria. A lot of bananas, there's a lot of stuff you can mash up and make raw. And you want to avoid right from the beginning giving your kids sugary foods, because they're going to crave the sugary foods. So the more sugar you give them, the more sugar they're going to crave. And you have to read the ingredients. You can't look at a package of food and say, you know what, this has, because the front is the billboard. Okay, so when you look at the cereals, total cereal, 100% of this, 100% of that, 100% of that, 100% of that. Sometimes the RDAs, the recommended daily allowances, are so low because they're being set by the producers, okay, of the food, by the manufacturers. So sometimes they're purposely set or skewed to be low to make the product look much better. And a lot of times you can whisper the word like niacin and certain minerals and nutrients and vitamins. You can just whisper it over the box and it meets the daily requirements. Oh wow, isn't that fancy? So people are caught in by the actual front of the box. Turn it over, look at the ingredients, and make sure you can recognize and read the ingredients, and make sure there's no added sugar. Okay? Especially now, sugar's tricky because they'll put cane sugar, pure cane sugar, evaporated cane sugar, it's sugar. Or cane juice. They like to write cane juice, evaporated cane juice. It's sugar. Plain out sugar. That's how you make sugar, is you evaporate cane juice. You juice the cane, you evaporate it, you then strip it of all of its minerals, and that's sugar. So, there's other better sweeteners like brown rice syrup, maple syrup, agave. There's better sweeteners, but the problem is once kids get the taste for sweetness, they keep going back for that sweetness. And really the sweetness they're really craving, you can satisfy in fruits, because fruits are natural. An apple is sweet, an orange is sweet, A banana is sweet, a mango is sweet, pineapple, fruits, plums, peaches, nectarines, cherries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. These are all sweet things that could satisfy kids' desire for sweetness, or really get them used to eating the proper foods. So now I like fruit, and I know a lot of people out there are anti-fruit because it gets a bad rap with certain diets and sugars. Fruit is our friend, and I'm a huge fan of fruit. So what I did with my kids was, my son would come home from nursery school at 4 years old, and he'd eat like 5, 6 apples for lunch. And my wife was like, he's eating too many apples. I'm like, no, he knows. He's a smart kid. The kids have got it figured out. They know. You know, he's craving apples because he grew up on fruits and veggies. So not on sugary, processed foods. So here's my best advice to parents. You buy lots of fruits and vegetables. You skip the processed and packaged foods. You know, the kids are going to want cereal. You read the ingredients. Make sure it's pure. There's nothing wrong with buying puffed millet, puffed quinoa. There's all kinds of grains. Puffed rice, puffed rye, puffed kamut. You can go buy just straight, no sweeteners, no added, and then make maybe almond milk, buy almond milk, use some kind of unsweetened, and then add fruit, add berries into it. Get them used to that, because what you give them is what they're used to. And here's the big part. Grandparents, relatives, sister-in-laws, you know, they're so good at rewarding our kids with candy. You've got to put a stop to that. My mom did it in the beginning. I was like, Mom, you have to respect what we're doing. My wife's parents did it. They fought us on it. I said, you have to respect what we are doing. We're the parents. It's what we wish. Don't teach our kids that it's time for a reward with a piece of candy, a Hershey's Kiss or something, because that's the wrong. It's like, oh, if you eat that, you'll get dessert. No, you're going to eat it anyway, and you're going to eat the good food and have an apple, because that's perfectly fine. It drives me crazy when we set up that reward system on sweets. Set that reward system up on more fruit. I bring home mangoes, I bring home a watermelon, and my kids are like, watermelon, yeah, awesome. And they'll like cut the thing in half and start eating it. You know, and I see a lot of parents who just reward their kids with crap. And so, don't have the options in the house. Don't set up the reward system and don't have the options. The reward system with the sweets and the parent and the in-laws and the grandparents and all that kind of stuff. Set right up in the beginning, say, this is what we're doing and I need you to respect it. I will help you with the food. I will buy the apples for you. I'll buy the oranges for you. I'll buy whatever for you. You have to respect how we're feeding our kids, because grandparents will undermine you to no end on this, and it drives me crazy. Second thing is in schools. You know, a lot of people are nervous. Well, you know, my kids will look like an outcast, and you know, other kids, you know, will laugh at him and this and that. My son brings fruit salad for his birthday to school. He doesn't want cupcakes. He doesn't want cake. He wants fruit salad. And my wife said, you know, I'll make him organic, you know, maple syrup, sweetened whole grain, vegan cupcakes. And I said, why didn't you ask Justin what he exactly wants? Don't feel bad for him. Ask him and see what he wants. And he said, I want a fruit salad for my birthday. So my wife goes, well, what do the other kids think about that? And he goes, the other kids see me eating all the fruit all the time, and now they're bringing more fruit to school themselves. So your kids are actually looked up to when they do this. You know, my kids, you know, other kids are doing it. That says something. Kids are very influential. They see what they see how athletic my son is and how smart he is, and our daughter, and they see all that. The other kids see that, and the teachers see it, and there's something to that. Of course there's something to it. It's the good, nutritious, healthy food. I mean, kids just walk around in a daze all the time because they're always up and down and crashing with sugar highs, and they look like these kids look like zombies, and they're spaced out, and they're just like walking like this through school, and you know, I see them playing baseball and the sports. They just like stand out in the outfield like, and they're third base, and they're just like, there's no oomph in these kids. They get a hit and they can barely run to first base, and it's just so disgusting. Drives me crazy. So, and of course the parents think, well, you know, it's their diet, I can't do anything about it. Yes, you can do something about it. At any age, you can switch the foods. And what you have to do is you have to just take all the foods out of the house. Kids will eat watermelon. Kids will eat apples. They'll eat bananas. They'll eat all this stuff. The kids that come to my house and are friends with my kids, they come over and they'll see kiwis and strawberries. And like, one of the kids was like, you guys have everything here. They thought it was so cool that we had like 5, 6, 7, 8 different fruits. This is so cool. And they sit there and they eat stuff like crazy. Kids will transition. Now the reason why I like fruits and veggies, fruits especially, because fruits satiate and they satisfy that urge for sweetness, okay? Because our bodies, you know, are accustomed to that sweetness. You know, our bodies, I don't want to say crave it, but our bodies like it. So for instance, if you took a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old and shoved them in a room, put them in a room by themselves and observed them with fruit or with lamb chops or bacon or stuff, they're going to gravitate towards the fruit because that's their nature, okay? My son gravitated to that. We own a restaurant. He saw the apples. He would pick the apples up. He can eat anything, you know, really in the restaurant. There's everything that's here. And he would gravitate towards the apples, okay? Now, we raised our kids as vegetarians. We didn't give them dairy until about a year or so ago, and we gave it as an option because they're going to see it in schools, they're going to see it everywhere. And we explained the difference between raw dairy, organic, farmstead, local cheeses versus mass-produced cheeses. So, you know, but they don't eat much at all. So they barely eat it. You know, it's a treat sometimes to get a little piece of raw cheese. I personally don't like it myself, and I don't eat it myself, but the food is here. Our kids, however, did grow up with having a little bit of goat cheese in their diet. So I personally felt that goat cheese would have been the best option versus other cheeses because of the protein difference in the goat's milk versus cow's milk, and it was more in line with what our bodies would need. But we really don't need dairy. Mother's milk satisfies our total needs for the protein and dairy right from day one. That's a whole other video. So get rid of all the crap in your house. Get rid of the Pringles. Just get rid of it. Don't have it as an option. Stock your house with lots of fruits and veggies and encourage them to eat apples and stuff like that. You'll be shocked. They'll do it at any age. They'll do it. Get them used to having a salad at a meal, okay? And of course, salad dressings are high in fat and a lot of junk in them. So you want to at least get the salad in them and then kind of alter the dressings as you go along if they don't like salad. And eventually what you want to do is just a squeeze of lemon, raw apple cider vinegar, a little bit of oil as possible. We make our dressings with as least dressing as possible. Dressing is pure fat. Don't go for the fat-free because it's a scam usually. So you really want to just barely coat the lettuce once you can. But cucumbers are great. Tomatoes are great. Teach your kids how to eat a tomato. You know, take them to farmers markets. Show them the pure stuff. Let them pick it out. Let them be in charge of shopping at a farmers market with all the fruits and veggies for home. Kids get a kick out of that. Okay? Say it's up to you with what we want. What do you want? Give them the best choices. Watermelon, peaches, plums, pears, nectarines. They'll be ecstatic about that. My kids love to be able to be the ones, oh, I want this, I want that, can you get this? I want to do the shopping today. I want to tell you what I want. Perfect. You tell me what you want. You have vested interest. So here's in a rundown. Get rid of the junk. Stop a reward system. The reward system with cake and candy and sugary foods is setting their mind totally wrong. And I see it all the time. Kids, they win the baseball game. We want ice cream. We want ice cream. My son's like, I want an apple. Oh, I want a kiwi. You know, what's up with the ice cream? You know, what's up with the ice cream and sugary crap and the Gatorades and stuff? So don't let family undermine you at all. Don't let a school undermine you, and be honest with the teacher up front. I don't want because I see a lot of teachers rewarding again with candy. I don't want my kids, you know, getting rewarded with candy. I don't want them to see that. I don't want them exposed to that reward system, okay? So those are some simple things you can do right there to make a huge difference. Get your kids involved in selecting the food. Have them help you shop. You know, have them, you know, pick out their favorite fruits. You know, and let them be a role model to other kids. That's really what it's about. You know, kids being a role model. Not, I mean, you think quite the opposite. They'll be made fun of and this and that. No, my kids are role models, and it's living proof. You know, my son years ago told one of the teachers, one of the parents, I can't have cupcakes, there's sugar in there. Why would, and the parent was like, well, it's so-and-so's birthday. And my son looked at her and said, you shouldn't even have this. This has sugar in it. And the parent came up to us and was like, wow, your son is like really like dedicated. And he told me, and I was really shocked. Good job parenting. Yeah, of course, good job parenting. It takes work, and it takes you know, work and persistence. So really, if you're going to stock your house and you want to feed your kids right, you want food in its natural form. Okay, I love the whole thing. If you can take food and put it into the ground and it can grow, you should eat it. You can't grow pasta, it gets mold. You can't grow bread. You can't grow cookies. You can't grow cereal. Okay, but if you take almonds, almonds will grow into a tree. You plant a pineapple, it'll grow. You take the apple, plant it, it'll grow. Lettuce, these things will get a root system. If you stick it in water and it gets a root system, put it in the ground and it grows. Those are the foods that are alive. I like raw foods. I like a lot of raw foods. My kids eat raw corn. We try not to cook our corn, because the more raw the food is, the more enzymes, nutrients, and nutrient value it has. So parents, make your kids role models. Make yourself a role model. Parents ask me all the time what to do, how to do it. So be persistent, keep the fight up, and tell other people where it's at and what you want, and don't let other people undermine you. So that's my opinion on how to raise healthy eating kids, okay? It's not, you know, I can go on and on. I want you to just get the point of this video. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. If you like this video, please hit like, subscribe it, pass it on, spread the word, and, you know, buy an apple for a kid. It's the best thing you can do. Buy some fruit for a kid. It's the best possible thing. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. Thank you so much for watching.